What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, talking today about Anthem, because the developers of it just basically admitted that the game is a dumpster fire, and I'm very intrigued by this. I want to talk about what this means and read their official statement, but this is a rumor that's been going around for a while. A bunch of leakers and stuff in the gaming industry have been talking about the fact that Bioware, the makers of Anthem, they're pretty much obsessed with the project. They think that this could be the biggest and best thing that they've ever worked on, so despite the fact that a lot of people just downright hated this thing at launch, it bombed, it did not sell well, a lot of people inside the company kept saying, no, we gotta stick with it. It needs patches, it needs updates, but this is our pièce de la résistance. This is our masterpiece. And it's just been a baffling rumor because from the outside, it seems like Anthem is not getting better. In fact, a lot of people this week were even laughing about the fact that the game is so behind, they still have up their Christmas decorations in freaking February. When randomly, just a few minutes ago, Bioware admitted that they're going to be doing the impossible and remaking Anthem from the ground up. Let's read their official statement. Okay, so here it is. 1 year ago, we were preparing to launch Anthem, a game that represented a big leap into new territory for us as a studio. It was an exhilarating and terrifying experience for us to go out into the world with something new and different, and we're grateful to all the players that have come along with us for the journey. It has been a thrill for us to see the creativity of our players in designing custom javelins, and watching them master Anthem's flying and fighting gameplay. I am so proud of the work that our team has put into this game, and at the same time, there's so much more that we and you would have wanted from it. See right there, even with the opening paragraph, they're clearly saying, we screwed up. And I just want to say, I appreciate when studios do this. I actually respect when a game developer is able to stand out in front of the crowd and say, this was a mistake, but mistakes can be fixed. Okay, let's keep reading here. Over the last year, the team has been hard at work to improve stability, performance, and general quality of life while delivering 3 seasons of new content and features. We also heard your feedback that Anthem needs a more satisfying loot experience, better long-term progression, and a more fulfilling endgame. So we recognize that there's still some more fundamental work that needs to be done to bring out the full potential of the experience, and it will require a more substantial reinvention than an update or an expansion. Over the coming months, we will be focusing on a longer-term redesign of the experience, specifically working to reinvent the core gameplay loop and the clear goals, motivating challenges and progression with meaningful rewards while preserving the fun flying and fighting in a vast science fantasy setting. And to do that, we'll be doing something we properly wanted to do the first time around, giving a focused team the time to test and iterate, focusing on gameplay first. Whoa! Okay, so that's not quite all of it, but I just want to stop for a second and go, that is a huge admission of them actually being able to recognize that their game downright sucked. The fact that they're able to really just kind of admire and hear the criticism and say, the game wasn't good enough, but it was good. Something I feel like not enough people are willing to admit is that Anthem was incredibly fun in short doses. The combat, the flying, the explosions, being able to just be a giant mech and punch a bunch of like aliens in the face, that worked. The issues were more systematic. So the fact that they're actually going in there and looking at the glue that's holding all the bricks together to reconstruct the house that is Anthem, this is a big freaking deal. Okay, let's read this last paragraph. In the meantime, we'll continue to run the current version of Anthem, but move away from the full seasons as the team works towards the future of Anthem. We'll keep the game going with events, store refreshes, and revisiting past seasonal and Cataclysm content, starting with our anniversary towards the end of the month. Creating new worlds is central to our studio mission, but it's not easy. Sometimes we get it right, sometimes we miss. What keeps us going is the support from players like you. Your support, your feedback, gives gives us the guidance on how we can improve. And your passion inspires us with the courage to create. I look forward to working together with your involvement and feedback towards the best possible future for Anthem. Wowzers. I mean, this is literally Bioware coming out and throwing themselves upon the sword and saying, we screwed up, but that's not the end of the story. I've always been somebody who's been incredibly conflicted about No Man's Sky. My issue is that No Man's Sky was undefendable at launch. You may have enjoyed it, but the original version of No Man's Sky was hollow, it was misadvertised, and it just was not fun. The issue with games a lot of times now is being sold on a promise that does not exist. Anthem is one of those games. I am always curious to see what this game turns into be, but a lot of people have already been screwed over. Even if this total reinvention is absolutely free, even if all these updates, even if the total rework is something that is just given to players who already bought it, millions of people maybe already paid $60 for a broken mess. What is that mess going to evolve into? Bioware is a studio that has an incredibly long history of massive RPGs, but they always had such a single-player focus. Seeing them trying to jump into such an expansive, open MMO space was very, very peculiar, and clearly it cost them a lot. The biggest thing about this that I'm kind of skeptical about is that many of the people who actually worked on Anthem have now left the studio. Pretty much all the heads that were actually directly involved with this project had said sayonara and walked off into the sunset. Who is leading this revamp? At what point are we really going to get the concrete details as to what is going to be different? I am hesitant to accept this apology in a way. I am optimistic though. I am curious to see what it turns into, and certainly I'm going to play it. I already got screwed over. I paid $60 freaking for this total dumpster fire, and I guess if the update is free, I'm going to check it out. Bioware though, I do want to say one thing directly to you and to your developers. Don't charge for this. If you end up trying to make this like a $30 DLC or something, you guys are going to be roasted forever. I'm not sure if anybody at the top, because remember they are still owned by Electronic Arts. Is this an Electronic Arts move? Is this them basically saying, you don't get another game? If Bioware is not a success, if you're not able to turn Anthem into a $1 million project, you're all fired. That is definitely the bad side of this. Bioware is a good studio. They have a great history. They hopefully have a big future ahead of them, but I'm just not sure that Anthem is where it's at. Well, what do you think about this? Have you had a chance to actually look at this very funny apology? Unfortunately, the website, as soon as they posted this apology, crashed because so many millions of gamers were flooding it to try and read such an oddball apology. But it's funny. I'm still going to link the original apology down below if you want to read it for yourself. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Oh boy, man, I am glad I'm not a Bioware employee today. Oh man, I do hope this works out. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, you know, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.